I'm right now running by my job to take care of one small thing. I just need to go unlock a door. That's all I need to do. But since I'm out, I figured I'd rather get up and start taking care of the things I need to take care of and go getting the groceries that I need. Now, I have things at home already. I'm not sure what to make. So we're gonna walk through the frozen aisles just like we did last week. Get some inspiration, get the food, and cook the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I will catch y'all in just a bit when I get to the grocery store so we can talk about what we're gonna make. Alright. Alright, so I already found the first thing. Some oyster mushrooms, coconut milk. I got noodles at home already. I'll probably use like the penne noodles. Did I say I already had coconut milk and some parsley? Yeah, that'll do it. So look, salad mixes, I do not shade them at all because it's already pre-cut for you, you know? Things like the seeds and the cranberries, they come in their own, they come in like a package on the inside of these. You can't see it in there, but the only thing that you're gonna find in the bag, you know, like the sauces, they're in their own bag. So if you ain't got a lot of time to make a salad, you know, this shit's already cut for you. You just gotta buy it and put whatever you want on it instead of having to chop your own veggies up yourself. So this is everything. With this stuff over here, I got some kale, Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, onions, butternut squash, and peppers. I'm gonna do another like butternut squash. I could probably go over there and grab some mushrooms. Got another like butternut squash salad with the kale. Of course, we got apples and bananas. I didn't know all these had chickpea noodles that only have chickpea flour in them. So I'm gonna just grab some of those for fun. Spinach. I already have noodles. I already have coconut milk. Oh, I may need to grab more coconut milk. But I'm going to grab oyster mushrooms. Of course, they're not at this store. I got a couple seasonings. And then I got some snacks too. So just dates, peanuts, water, and sea salt. I mean, that's pretty cool, you know. Apples, almonds, dates, walnuts. Oh, I may need to put these back. I'm allergic to walnuts. I gotta put these back. Some pistachios and 2 things of dates themselves for some snacks. That's it, man. That's it. Alright, we're out of Aldi's and I'm heading to Trader Joe's and the International store to get Trader Joe's. I'm just gonna get a bunch more coconut milk and coconut cream. I might just get the coconut milk and leave the cream alone. And the International store, because I'm going to grab oyster mushrooms. Well, since I'm over at Trader Joe's, I can take a second look inside of Good Foods to see if they have lion's mane mushrooms. And if not, then, of course, the oyster mushrooms, it'll be from the International store. And I'm probably not going to record those. You guys will, I mean, y'all know what the oyster mushrooms look like and how much they usually cost. So, yeah. All these, I spent $67.91. And I got quite a bit of shit too. Like, to get all the food that I need, plus snacks, you know, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. That's way under the limit that I'm setting for myself. And I was able, like I said, I was able to get both the food and the snacks. You know, of course, I already have a bunch of stuff at home that I've already bought.
and that way I don't have to rebuy it. So that makes it a lot more easy. And yeah, I mean, that's what's up, to be honest with you. To me, under $70 for everything I need, you really can't beat that.
Back in the kitchen. It is a Sunday, and it's time to get all this food cooked. So right now, what I'm working on is just the butternut squash salad that I'm gonna do. I'm not sure what kind of dressing I'll put over top of it. To be honest with you, this really doesn't need one. What's going on in it? I got mushrooms. I have both cherry tomatoes, or excuse me, I have both grape tomatoes and baby Roma tomatoes. It'll probably be a mix of those because I still got some of these baby Roma tomatoes left over from last week, and they're still good. Some butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, peppers, and kale. Now, the only part of this that is going to be cooked will be the Brussels sprouts, the mushrooms, and the butternut squash. The butternut squash and the mushrooms are both going to be baked in the oven. You ain't even got to look at them. They'll probably need to be in there for maybe like 30 minutes or so. They're going to cook together. Brussels sprouts are going to have to go on the stove top. And that's all that is. The peppers, I'm probably going to use the yellow. Probably going to use the yellow, maybe half of the orange, since I already have red, just to add a little bit more color. And the kale, I'm going to need to squeeze a lemon over top of it to get it to get that nice and soft and cleaned off, and yada yada yada. That's gonna need that. And basically that'll be it. I've already got the oven preheating to 400. I think I've made the butternut squash salad up here once or twice before, but it's actually one of my favorite things to make. Butternut squash is just so good itself. If butternut squash was like the only thing I could eat, I would probably be fine with myself because it's like it doesn't require a lot at all. And it's already sweet, so I really don't have to put anything on it. I can just have it as is, straight out of the oven. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to baking mushrooms, you always want to use a higher temperature. I know a lot of us are used to putting everything at 350, and even unless you're getting like frozen pizza, all of the like baking directions always say to have whatever food you're getting at 350. But with mushrooms, I prefer to have them at like between 385 and 405. Like, and of course, a safe 400 is always good. You just need to make sure the pan that you're using can go up that high. Now, the one thing I don't like about butternut squash is that it can be really difficult to cut through. It can be really difficult to cut through. I'm just gonna cut these into circles, maybe like an inch thick. And then from there, I'm gonna go around them, get the skin off of them, and then cut them into, like, I'll show you. So I'll go around them like this to get that skin off of them. It's a lot easier with these pieces other than when you start getting down here. And then I'll just cube them, trying to keep them all the same size. That way they cook evenly. So it'll be like that. Alright, so I'm gonna get these oiled up first. I'm gonna get these oiled up first because I don't want to put oil directly on the mushrooms. Good. Yeah, so if I was to directly toss oil onto the mushrooms, the only thing that they're gonna do is soak it up. And that's again just certain things you don't want to do when it comes to mushrooms. Just use the rest of that because I bought some more. That's not that's not how you want to start off with mushrooms. Like you can cook mushrooms and not even need oil, honestly. In a pan, that is. You do not need oil when it comes to mushrooms. Now, if you're deep frying them, that's a bit of a different story. But it's not necessary. Oven already. It's just gonna sit in there for a few minutes. And yeah, then these will get chucked inside there. And then I'm gonna get started on the Brussels sprouts because the Brussels sprouts really only take like 10 to 15 minutes to cook. By the time they're done, these mushrooms and butternut squash will practically be done because I still have to cut them and prepare them. The Brussels sprouts, that is. So, got the Brussels sprouts in here. Now, when I'm cleaning the Brussels sprouts off, I'm gonna let them soak for a bit in some sea salt and baking soda. I only clean the outside of them because we need the inside to remain dry. That way they cook as opposed to boiling like it's cabbage, you know? So we only clean the outside of things, no different than potatoes. With potatoes, with Brussels sprouts, you clean the outside of them. Well, let me not go too far into that. The Brussels sprouts, you just clean the outside of them, okay? Um, Honestly, seeing that I'm using so many Brussels sprouts, first and foremost, I'm gonna cook these. I probably have to cook these in like 2 batches. And that's it. So that's done. Everything's all mixed in together. And this will be what I just have for lunch throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so getting ready to do the pasta, and these are basically all the things that I need. Um, yeah, for the mushrooms, I guess I probably won't even use any of that oil. Coconut milk as the base for the sauce, some chicken bouillon or not chicken bouillon, some spinach. I've been recording and I'm not even sure if like y'all even been able to hear the things that I've been saying. So the difference between longer stems and actual cluster bases and how they get handled. So one of two ways. One of two ways. Yeah. So here, harder cluster bases. One thing that you can do is just simply cut it off. Not going to use it, not going to need it. Boom, that's done. The other thing that you can do is you score it so you make like slits in it. So we're not cutting all the way through it. We're just making it so that it has openings in the stem. You see? As opposed to cutting, legs in the mushrooms. As opposed to cutting legs in the mushrooms, we're just making simple slits in it. So this is what I mean when I say scoring the mushrooms. Cutting slits and scoring the mushrooms is a lot more necessary, I think, when you're deep frying the mushrooms, because like hot oil is not going to soften the stem. So what you do is you score them and then you marinate them with a citrus or an acid, a vinegar to break that stem down. For people that have been following this channel, this is like one of the biggest things that I was saying a couple of years ago, but it will always be something that is relevant. You want to make sure that oyster mushrooms, the stem is as soft as possible. That way, when you're cooking for somebody or cooking for yourself, it's edible. Again, hot oil, just dunking them in a deep fryer to get them ready for a sandwich later on is not going to break down that stem the way you need it broken down. So you have to find a way to either thin it or use, like I said, the scoring method, or marinating it in a acid, lime, vinegar to break it down and make them soft. So then you'll be good to go. So what I'm saying might sound a bit strange, but baked oyster mushrooms act very similar to baked chicken. Now, you guys can't really tell, but there's quite a bit of water inside here because it's such a deep dish that they're baking in. But if you were to remove some of the water in here and add like a milk, personally I was using like hemp milk because it'll curdle as it cooks. That will start to mimic chicken fat. So it's actually the exact same way. If anything, I mean, you could cover it with like aluminum foil like you usually would when it comes to baking chicken, 45 minutes to an hour in the oven, and you got you a good baked chicken replacement.
I think that one of those when I went into salad when I went to the airport, I just got food in this is the green machine. So it's like healthy, no sugar and
Salad works.
oh shit. It just kept popping up on my phone. I was asking Red, I was like, have you ever been here? So I got the green machine. I got this one.
Goodness. Hmm.